We now cross over to New Zealand and we'll be joined by Shakeel Qureshi. He is an IT professional at the University of Auckland and he's here to talk to us about a sad but important and necessary discussion. It is a third anniversary of the mosque terror attacks in New Zealand, where 51 people lost their lives. Shakeel Qureshi, Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me.
Lovely to have you. And as I said, it's a sad but necessary conversation to be had. What exactly is happening on this third anniversary of that very, very shocking and sad day 3 years ago at the mosque in New Zealand, in Auckland, I think it was?
Yeah. No, it was in Christchurch.
Oh, Christchurch, there you go. Thank you for the correction.
Yes, it absolutely horrific, of course, and something that's so unexpected here in New Zealand, in this beautiful country. But we've had remembrance services every year since then. This year, the families and survivors have asked that no large event happen. So we've had lots of local events around the country. However, we did have the Adhan broadcast on national radio at 1:39 p.m. local time.
Alhamdulillah.
So that was the first time ever that we've had that, I think. And that was followed by MPs giving commemorative speeches in Parliament, including one from Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, and who said that the memories of the victims are honoured through the work that's taking place to make New Zealand a better place for everybody to live in. I'd like to go back to sort of some of those local events because I work at the University of Auckland and we've had something called Peace Week at the university. Excuse me, at the university every year to coincide with the 15th of March anniversary. And this year, the theme of Peace Week is empathy. How can we grow empathy, understand it, and live it in terms of our everyday lives? And the keynote speaker at the main webinar that we have today was a widow of one of the martyrs from the shooting. So it was a very emotional, very inspiring talk. And we had other various members of the university also participate and give their reflections on not just the horrific events, of course, but also how to move forward, particularly within the theme of empathy as well.
Now, carry on.
But there have been other events around the country. Let me give an example, something amazing, really. One of the survivors of the terror attack, a gentleman who was shot 9 times in the attack. He still got shrapnel in his body, but he completed a grueling 360-kilometer walk.
Wow.
From Dunedin, which is a city further south from Christchurch, to Al Nur Mosque in Christchurch. So he retraced the terrorists' route, and he did that to raise awareness, of course, but also to raise money for supporting Kiwi youngsters suffering from mental health. And so far, he's raised nearly $50,000. So just an amazing example of somebody giving back, victim giving back to the community and do something to raise awareness.
MashaAllah. As you speak, what comes to mind for me is that it was an absolutely horrendous day. I think it turned all your lives upside down, every New Zealander, regardless of color, creed, or nationality. But, and very sad for the victims and their families, obviously, a very huge price to pay. But the upside of all of this is that lots of good has come out of it as well. I think Islam is possibly being better understood, and people who might have had Islamophobic tendencies maybe are rethinking the status quo on Islam and Muslims in general. And what's also coming through for me is what an amazing country New Zealand is. Look at that, your Prime Minister and all top politicians and top people coming together on a day like this, standing together, holding hands and saying, we are one.
Yes, I agree. It's, as you said, the upside to this great tragedy was that the conversation about Islam, about Muslims in New Zealand is much more to the front. and therefore we've had progress made. But this is a journey. We haven't got to a destination yet. But there is greater awareness for sure. There is people are even talking with the phrases. The meeting non-Muslims are meeting Muslims with Assalamu alaikum as well, and things like that. So look, it's becoming, phrases are becoming part of the vocabulary. So there's greater awareness, and I think the progress has been made, but we're not there yet. I think just like everywhere in the world, there is a prejudice. There's discrimination. A lot of that comes from ignorance. So I say it's incumbent on us as the Muslim community to do outreach, to go and explain Islam and live Islam in the best possible example, so that people are not afraid of it. People understand that we're just normal people living our normal lives, trying to get by, trying to do the best we can. And I think it is working, but we're not there yet. But as you said, the awareness is there. Let me give you an example. Because of the efforts of so many people across the country, even the Postal Service is getting in on the act. And for example, they're issuing, for the first time ever, special stamps to commemorate Ramadan that's coming up, and Eid as well. So that's really great. So I mean, that's
wonderful.
Yes, it is. And again, that will raise awareness. It'll get people talking. And it's about engaging with people, helping them to understand, I think is the way forward.
And I think that's absolutely huge, because I'm not even sure if you have this happening in mainly Islamic countries, having postal stamps commemorating the beginning of Ramadan and the Eid festival. So I think that is truly, truly huge. And that's going to create even greater awareness for those people who might be disinterested in this narrative. Anything else you'd like to share with us before we wrap up?
No, but I think the fact that you've invited me on this radio show, and the fact that you've taken an interest in what's happening in New Zealand is wonderful. It's great to know that we're not alone. There is other people around the world that are supporting us. So Allah bless you, and thank you very much indeed for the opportunity to talk.
Ameen. Just know that we as Salam Media are a humanitarian platform. Alhamdulillah, we not only reach Muslims but non-Muslims as well. It's digital radio, and obviously we have podcasts as well. So we do have a very wide reach, but we keep our finger on the pulse as far as secular issues are concerned, but very especially Muslim views, news, and Muslim issues as well. So when this tragedy happened 3 years ago, we were with you guys all the way. We were with our brothers and sisters in New Zealand, brothers and sisters in Islam. We made dua for you, and we were going through everything you were going through, and we will always be with Muslim communities all around the world. So keep us in your duas, inshallah.
Inshallah, absolutely. And Jazakallah khairan, thank you so much, and you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you indeed. Go well. Assalamu alaikum to you. That was Shakeel Qureshi, IT professional at the University of Auckland, talking about the 3-year anniversary of the Christchurch mosque terror attacks in New Zealand. Alhamdulillah, what a wonderful story he shared with us. Out of that tragedy, there's a lot of positivity coming out. And as he has said, we're not there yet, but obviously it's a long road, and with perseverance, we will get there, inshallah. Time for me to wrap up. Thank you indeed for your time. As always, don't forget, remember, guys, the national state of disaster has been extended, which means you've got to continue masking up, sanitizing, and social distancing. Take care on the roads. The roads are wet, so please take care. Till tomorrow morning at the same time as always. From my producer, Nasreen Naidu, and myself, Julie Ali, Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz.